I think we're going, yeah.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Allie, and I am very nice to meet you all, by the way. I wanted to start today by talking a little bit about your relationship, Gomez and Morticia. Sorry, Morticia Gomez. I wanted to talk a little bit about your relationship and also kind of what decision making looks like for the two of you. How do you make big family decisions?
Well, as the man, I am technically like the head of the house, but as always, I always consult Morticia, and she is like pretty smart, probably smarter than me, and so she's better at making decisions. It's not my favorite thing to do.
Yes, communication's very important. He doesn't make a decision without consulting me as well. But in the end, I know that he will do what's right.
Or Morticia will.
I'm interested to know, so Gomez, do you feel like most of the time you are making the decisions and making sure that Morticia's okay with them, or are you sort of collaborating and making decisions together?
I would say it's more collaborative, or at least that's my intent. Does it feel that way, Morticia?
Yeah, I would say there's a lot of collaboration. I feel like we're both definitely present in these discussions.
Okay. I'm curious about how do the two of you feel like you are connecting with Wednesday? Do you feel pretty close to her?
I feel like Wednesday is very withdrawn. She doesn't always show interest in, time with us. She's a very independent girl who likes her own space, and I feel like she doesn't want to connect with us as much as, Pugsley does.
Okay,
Yeah.
do you agree?
I think I would. We love Wednesday. She's really great and like a fantastic daughter. She just has a lot of like creative interests that she likes to explore alone. At least that's what it seems like to me. We're not very close. I'm not sure if she even wants me talking to her most of the time. So I kind of just don't. I kind of just leave it alone. If Wednesday wants to talk to me, she will.
Okay. Does Wednesday talk to you very often?
Not really.
Okay.
So I figured she just doesn't want to.
Okay, that's understandable. How do you feel that you connect with Wednesday, Uncle Fester?
Oh, Wednesday and I have a lot of fun together. We like to talk about ideas. We like to talk about crime. We like to talk about goals. We like to play and have fun and experiment. We do a lot of things together. I feel like we connect pretty close.
And then Pugsley, obviously, you feel pretty close to your sister, or no, not really?
Well, I mean, I feel close to her. If she's gotten older, she's a little bit more kind of off on her own, but, she helps me out at school, and if I need something, she's always helping me out. She does kind of hang out in her room a lot. I don't know. I think something's up, but I don't know. She doesn't tell me things. When she was talking about that whole stuff about having thoughts that she doesn't share with anybody, she doesn't talk to me about that stuff either. And it's not like she did when we were younger either. So I don't really know. She helps me out. She doesn't have to. Whatever. I get locked in lockers. Whatever. But I appreciate it. And yeah, it would be hard if she wasn't at the school anymore. So I really don't want that to happen. But well, they're just going to tease me about that anyway. So whatever. But yeah, I mean, we were closer when we were younger, but she's older now. She's got other things to do. Well, to think about maybe. I don't know if she really does a whole lot.
I feel like when I'm sort of thinking about this family, I sort of feel like, do you know anything about icebergs and how there's kind of like a little bit that shows up on the top of the water, and then there tends to be a whole bunch underneath the surface. So what I'm trying to figure out is I'm trying to figure out a little bit more about what's going on underneath the surface of this iceberg that is Wednesday, right?
Well,
So
we're not Wednesday, so how would we know?
right, but I'm sort of curious to know what you think because you are the people who know her the best.
Okay.
And I'm interested to know if you feel like there's been anything recently that might have caused a change in behavior, or was there a time where things were going differently than they do now, or has this just always kind of been the way it's been? What do you think?
You know, like Morticia said earlier, we've always encouraged like self-expression and creativity, and you know, Uncle Fester has, you know, been a huge part of that in our lives as well. And has definitely built that kind of relationship with our kids. And so, you know, I think from the start when they were very little, they've always been really like creative and, you know, very willing to explore what I think a lot of people don't want to explore. And yeah, I don't know when like things started, like if she started to, you know, isolate more, or I don't really know when she kind of stopped talking to me. I think it was, I don't know, a long time ago.
I noticed her withdrawing more, like I said earlier, when Fester went away. He was kind of the one person she really talked with the most, and when he left, she just kind of withdrew, and that was really hard on her.
Remind me of how long ago it was that he wasn't living with you?
How long ago was that?
Like 7 years.
Okay. And how long has it been since you've been back?
Almost a year now.
Okay.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. I'm just making a note of that really quick because that's interesting. That I feel like that might be something that we want to maybe ask Wednesday a little bit more about when she's back with us. But I am sort of interested to know, first of all, how have the two of you been handling Wednesday at home? Like, have the issues that she's been demonstrating at school come home at all, or how have the two of you been talking about Wednesday, or what has that process been like?
You know, I'll try to ask Wednesday sometimes how school went, but she often just kind of goes, I don't know, or gives me like kind of a nonchalant response. And then we'll just either go to her room, or sometimes she'll go to the garage. And usually, you know, when our kids are going to play in the garage, they're probably doing something like playing with fire. Because that's like the designated space, you know. This is more protected so we don't burn the house down. Because that's probably not a good idea. So, you know, I think that would be it. It's kind of, yeah.
I would say that these behaviors definitely occur more at school. I think that Wednesday's very bright, but she has trouble relating to her peers. And I think that the school isn't as open with her self-expression as we are, and they don't see things the way we do. And so I think maybe a big thing is just kind of a time and place.
I notice you agreeing with that, Pugsley.
So, yeah, I mean, you know, she rescues me from being picked on, but she gets picked on just as much. You know, we're not like the other kids. And for the most part, we're okay with that. But it still can be really hard when nobody wants to talk to you. All they want to do is say, you know, nasty things to you or throw you in a locker. But she's, you know, she can fight people, and she doesn't show it. That she's upset with that kind of stuff, and I don't know if she is, but you know, she's the one who comes and helps me, and you know, things have happened at school that I don't know if anybody knows about. I don't know if any teachers do, that where she's, you know, she's protected me and protected herself or whatever. I mean, not from anything like dangerous, but just from picking on, and I'm sure, you know, I don't know, it's not fun for me, but I deal with it. I don't know.
When you say that you're different from other kids, can you say a little bit more about that? What does that mean to you?
Well, I don't know. we're different clothes. We live in a different house. You know, our house is different than other people's. It's darker and it's moodier and it's nicer and it's funner.
They're colors that we like.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, nobody has an uncle who went to jail for 7 years, so I mean, there's that too, and everybody knows that. But also, nobody plays with fire in their garage. When I invite friends over and we start doing stuff like that, they leave. They're just kind of freaked out. So they're just like, yeah, this is too weird.
Yeah, we've gotten many calls from parents about that. It's quite funny.
So, you know, I don't have many friends either. I have a few, but they're not a lot, and I usually don't have them over, but.
How does it feel to hear Pugsley talk about feeling different at school?
I mean, I like to say different is better. And who needs friends when you got Uncle Fester back?
Yeah, it makes me feel very proud of him that he feels different. I felt different my whole life. I think that's, you know, how our family should be, is different and unique.
I agree. I want him to be himself. I want him to have self-expression and not conform to what the other kids are doing. I think too many parents try to shove those kids in a box, and we want them to be able to be creative, be themselves. And yeah, he might not have friends, but he's being his true self, and I think that that's better.
I really love that. Really, I do. I really love that. And I think it's a really good and conscientious parent that wants their kid to just be themselves. I have one last question. I'm interested to know, just sort of more of a curiosity, the house and the colors. Why? Is there a reason why you like those colors? Is it a cultural thing? Can you tell me a little bit more about your family's history?
You know, I don't have much to say about it other than, you know, like our house, like the colors on the outside is black.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I've always loved the color black because while some people might be scared of darkness, like because there's a lot of unknown, but I think, you know, there's a lot to be curious about it. And, you know, who knows what you'll find in there, which I think is kind of like our family. But, you know, that could be me just like attributing a random meaning about how I see life and just me enjoying the color black. Who knows?
I agree.
Wonderful. That's all the time we have for now.
Nice job. That was right on time.